Hello everyone, my name is MrNJersey and welcome to my channel. In this video we are checking out a huge update to the modular engines in terms of new components that we have here in Stormworks in the experimental branch. But before we get started, if you are enjoying these videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, and while you're watching, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So with that all said, let's get straight into it and get started with this video. So we are back here in Stormworks with a huge update to the experimental branch. The devs have gone and added a ton of new components here for us to go and play with and test on the experimental branch. Now don't forget, if you do want to go and change over to the experimental branch, just go into your Steam library, right click on the game, go to the properties and change the version over to the testing or / experimental branch. Now these features are really cool, so we're going to be going through them in this video, and we're going to follow this up by tomorrow. We're actually going to be getting the update, obviously the full announcements of all the features and also the things coming here in Stormworks, and then we'll actually go and build some engines and I'll show you kind of how they work with all these different pieces. But in this video, let's go and have a look at these different components. So you'll see here, I've actually just built a very small little mock-up of what an engine could look like here in Stormworks, but let's go and have a look at the new pieces. So the new parts that we have, so we have the air exchanges. Now these are different size pieces. You'll see here we have a simple 1x2, we have the 5x2, 5x3, we have the 9x3, and we also have the 9x5. So each one of these have a in and out. So you'll see here at the bottom and at the top, this is going to be, for example, A in, A out, and then we have B in and B out. The same thing goes for all of them. You'll all notice that they have a top and bottom, and they also have a side intake and extake. Okay, so these are the air exchanges. We then move on to a piece that I think is not completely fully rendered yet, but we have a catalytic converter, again, which is pretty cool. Along with that, we also are going to have the heat exchangers. Now all the heat exchangers here do have, once again, 2 inputs and 2 outputs. Okay, so for example, heat exchanger, you can go and put fluid inside there. It has A in, A out, and then B in and B out. Really cool, quite nice looking pieces also. Just trying to think how we're going to put them onto an engine. Along with that, we also have these scoop intakes, really cool. So you can see this one here has got 2 ports on it. Once again, still not fully rendered in. You can see there the mesh doesn't look like it's properly rendering, but I'm sure that's going to be fixed. Hence the reason why this is in testing. It is not in the public version of the game yet, because they're still working on it. Things might change. So yeah, so we have a 2x1 and a 1x1, so really cool for cars. I would love to see some designs using that. Moving on to the next thing, we have the intercoolers. So we have a 2x2, and then if I'm correct, this is a 5x5. Yeah, 5x5. So these have got, once again, have got 2 ins and 2 outs. So fluid A, fluid B, in and out, in and out. Okay, so nice little small ones over here. Along with that, we have finally got a turbocharger. Now, once again, kind of like all these components, they have got 2 ins and 2 outs. So you'll see the one side of the turbocharger over here in black, which has got an in and then an out, and then the other side over here, which has got an in and it's got an out on the other side. So yeah, pretty cool. And you can kind of see on my test example, we've already got one there, one for the exhaust and then one in for the air. So we'll have a look at that engine in a few minutes. We also have flywheels. So this is going to be the one that we use for the 1x1 engine pieces. Then we have this one, which is meant to be for the 3x3, and this one's for the 5x5. They actually are bigger than what the engine pieces are. So even though this is for a 1x1 crankshaft, the actual block itself is 3x3. Same here, this is for 3x3 crankshaft, and it's actually 5x5, and the same thing here, this is for the 5x5, and it's actually 7x7. And you can, as once again, you can see how it's going to look like on your actual engine once you put it there. And then finally, I think something that everyone is really excited about is new gearboxes. Yes, we have finally got a 1x1 gearbox here in Stormworks. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but that is, I'm really excited for this. Obviously, they are for the modular engines, so they do hook up to the crankshaft. Actually, no, I lie. They actually go directly from pipe to pipe, so you don't even need to use them with modular engines. You could use them on a regular one. So yeah, obviously expect some of these things to change. By the way, take everything with a grain of salt. It is in testing at the moment. Things are going to change, numbers are going to change, we might get more features, but this is pretty much everything that they have gone and showcased going back a few months now, in things that we're working on in terms of meshes. So really pretty cool and excited about that. Once again, just back to the gearboxes, they all have the same settings where you can click on them and change the gear ratios on them, which is pretty cool. And another thing is you can invert them. So for example, this is the direction that normally would go, and you can see here on here, this is the direction that should normally go, but on my example I flipped it, obviously that giving me a little bit more torque on the actual propeller itself. So yeah, pretty cool pieces. I am really excited to start building some engines using these. I've briefly just put a mock-up together using one of my old engines here that I've had for a bit now, but I want to get into these ones. I'm really excited to start playing around with them, so definitely keep an eye out for tomorrow's video where I'm going to be playing around with the intercoolers, the turbos, pretty much everything, and just seeing how they work. So definitely keep an eye out for that. So here is the modular engine that I've got just as a little bit of a mock-up here. You can see we have the turbo over there, which is getting air in, and then it's going from the turbo into the actual engine itself. And then we have the exhaust coming in to the turbo, and then it's going out. There is a bypass pipe there just in case. We have fuel coming in, which is pretty cool. And at the back here, we've got clutch, gearbox, and then we have some electrical engines here. That's just actually to start the engine. I don't know why, but these starters just pretty much don't do anything at the moment. I think they need some balancing, but once again, I need to play a little bit more with these engines to kind of get the idea of what I would probably use for my creations. But another cool thing, which you guys should let me know if you want to see, is I have got my own little NJ modular engine microcontroller. So this takes out all the guesswork of working out how much fuel or how much air you need, all that stuff. Don't care about it. All you pretty much have to do is set your RPS target. For example, this is 9, and turn the key switch. Just like that, these engines are running, and they are hopefully sitting somewhere close to that 9. You can see here we can boost up the RPS over there. It sits pretty good in terms of air fuel ratio, and we can of course go and open up our propeller over there, and you can see once again, if we hover over this, you can see air fuel ratio is almost perfect. Exhaust is coming out the top, the propeller is spinning completely violently, so we're going to get this RPS all the way down to about 11. That's going to start slowing down. But yeah, that is pretty much it for all these new parts on the modular engines. Once again, I'm really excited to play around with these, see what they like. I briefly quickly just play around. This just came out on the experimental branch. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys think of these new parts. What other features do you want to see? And also, what other videos do you guys want to see? Do you want to see some more videos on playing around with these, testing them out, building some different types, maybe doing a huge big marine engine? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I hope you have enjoyed this and found some entertaining and informative as always. And we'll see you in the next one.